Today from the Pokrovsk direction, what began as a Russian infiltration operation ended in retreat as Ukrainian surveillance detected and decimated the Russian forces with domestically made BTR-4E armored vehicles. Here, under the cover of darkness, Ukrainian forces launched sudden night raids near Uspenivka, including a high-speed machine gun drive-by that stunned Russian troops. These bold strikes set the stage for a swift and coordinated effort to break the enemy's foothold on the flank. The goal of the Russian forces in this area is to collapse the Ukrainian positions south of Novosibirsk by cutting off their logistics. The capture of this area would allow the Russians to widen their bridgehead and protect their logistics by establishing stable defenses along the Salona River, exploiting the most vulnerable part of the Ukrainian defense. To cut off Ukrainian logistics, the Russian forces are trying to infiltrate the houses around Novosibirsk and position themselves within the village. This would position the Russian fighters along the main Ukrainian supply road to Uspenivka, which the Ukrainians used to deploy their infantry across two nearby bridges on the Salona River from Novosibirsk. Furthermore, the hills north of Novosibirsk are at a high elevation, so Russian control of the village would also enable them to enforce fire control over the dirt roads to Uspenivka in the fields, which would force the Ukrainian forces to withdraw. The main tactical disadvantages of the Russian forces are their poor logistics due to a lack of proper infrastructure to deploy a meaningful number of infantrymen, let alone mechanized units. This is because the bridge connecting the Russian bridgehead in Uspenivka with their rear positions was destroyed during the fighting, forcing them to conduct their entire assault on foot. Russian forces would need to cross exposed fields and the 50-meter-wide Salona River to reach Novosibirsk. But Ukrainian surveillance of bridges forces them to attempt slower crossings through marshes, increasing detection risk. These conditions make success unlikely as Ukrainian drones or scouts can quickly spot them, enabling rapid deployment of mechanized reinforcements via nearby paved roads. Geolocated combat footage from the area reveals the deployment of a domestically made Ukrainian BTR-4E Bucephalus infantry fighting vehicle at night, just a few minutes after the Russian assault group was detected near the Salona River. This spoiled the attacks of Russian infiltrators, whose positions were earlier detected by Ukrainian drone operators, allowing the crews of BTR-4Es to use the heavy firepower of their 30mm autocannons, to whose more destructive ammo and rate of fire decimated the Russian infantry units and their positions, inflicting severe losses. At the same time, this also led to the destruction of the small ammunition cache that the Russians established near Novosibirsk, rendering them unable to endure long-lasting small arms clashes. This set the perfect conditions for the Ukrainian counterattack in the morning, as additional BTR-4Es arrived with several infantry squads that dismounted and engaged in small arms fire with suppressed Russian units that were starved off ammunition. Given that their attack was spoiled and readily countered by the Ukrainian forces that quickly reacted, cleared the gray zone, and the Russians were forced to withdraw due to heavy losses and inability to advance, sustaining yet another failure at improving their positions on the western flank of Pokrovsk. Overall, the Russians gambled with a risky operation to reach Novosibirsk and cut off the key Ukrainian logistics for expansion of their positions on the western flank of Pokrovsk, only to be swiftly dealt with and eliminated by the Ukrainian forces. Russians understand that in order to conduct their main offensive towards Pokrovsk, they must first secure their logistics on their western flank of the city, which is why they will persist with assaults here and intensify them. On the same day, Ukrainian Special Operations Forces, SSO, destroyed a Russian Buk-M3, NATO SA-27 Golem surface-to-air missile system and a Uragan-1 multiple launch rocket system, MLRS, using precision drone strikes. According to a video and statement posted by the SSO, the equipment was discovered during a reconnaissance operation in one of the current combat zones. According to the report, SSO operators then quickly prepared and launched strike drones, successfully reaching and hitting both of the weapon systems. The Buk-M3 is one of the enemy's key air defense systems, capable of targeting threats in the air, on the ground, and at sea. The caption to the released video read, "While from the footage shows the Russian equipment being struck by attack drones causing multiple explosions, ammunition detonation, fireballs, and thick plumes of smoke." The report states that the Buk-M3 system, estimated to be worth $45 million, was completely destroyed along with its ammunition. It does not specify which model of strike drones were used. The Buk-M3 is among Russia's most advanced mobile air defense systems, capable of hitting targets at altitudes of up to 35 kilometers, 22 miles, and ranges of up to 70 kilometers, 44 miles. It is designed to engage aircraft, cruise missiles, helicopters, and other aerial threats. The BM-27 Uragan-1 is a 220mm multiple launch rocket system, also capable of delivering high explosive fragmentation and cluster munitions at ranges of up to 35 kilometers. In early April, Ukraine's unmanned systems forces disabled 3 Russian Buk air defense systems in Russia's Kursk Oblast within just 12 hours. According to the report, Ukrainian pilots used first-person view FPV drones to carry out precision strikes. One of the targets was a Bukom-2 NATO SA-17 Grizzly launcher hidden in a forest, which detonated after being hit. The other 2 were Bukom-3 systems. Their radars, critical for missile tracking and guidance, were struck and damaged, significantly degrading their operational effectiveness.